I spent the overwhelming majority of this game watching it with a Kubrick stare. This entire 60 minutes of hockey was pathetic to watch. This was a clown show. This was a joke. Nobody tried. Nobody cared. Nobody showed up to the game. No one was playing hockey on the Toronto Sceptres tonight. Name people who had a good game. Name people who you actually noticed on the ice. Turnbull never really takes a shift off. Watts never really takes a shift off. Zanin had a good second half of the game, I guess. Spooner had her moments. Who else? The entire decor was invisible except maybe Anna Shelbin. Troy Ryan was running out of ideas. He was giving minutes to Claire DeGeorge. His 13th forward, who he never plays. His extra player, who always sits on the bench. How? You had 24 shots this game. You played the team 5 days ago. You had 20 against them in the first period. You had 11 shots through the first 2 periods. You got outscored in this Western road trip 11-4. 3 goals were against former Sceptres. You got shut out by your former starting goalie. They didn't show up. They didn't care. They took this one lying down. They interviewed Turnbull at the second intermission. She sounded like she was ready to tear the paint off the wall going into that room. But I don't know if she's the kind of person to do that. I know Troy Ryan certainly isn't. He's like your dad who says, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. Get mad. Get a little mad. Get angry. I would love to see Troy Ryan just a little pissed off. And not like, we definitely missed some passes here and there. Get mad. Get angry at the fact that you scored the most goals on a goalie last game and you still lost. Get mad at the fact you allowed 11 goals in 2 games. How? I respect and I appreciate and I understand the decisions they made in the expansion draft to protect the players that they protected and to let go of the players they let go of. You could only protect 3 or 4. There's not a whole lot you can do. You're gonna lose some key pieces. Nurse scored 2 against you this game. She scored 1 against you in the Battle on Bay. Daniel scored the other one tonight. Carter scored against Seattle 2 days ago. You got shut out by Campbell, who you let go. Well, she actually got traded. I don't want to see Troy Ryan back next year, I'll tell you that much. Does he... I feel like he's lost the room. I don't know if he ever had it this year, to be honest. The team looks terrible. The games they've won have been by the fact that their goalie stands on their head the whole game. The games they do will end up looking kind of good. They have wound up losing anyway. Who can bring life? Who can inject blood into the veins of the players on the bench? It is exhausting to watch a game and within the first 5 minutes you can see they are going to lose and it's not going to be pretty. It is exhausting. It is 12:46 a.m. right now because I watched that. Because I dedicated my time to that. Me and so many other Sceptres players. I saw people saying I turned it off after 3-0. I turned it off after 2-0. Fastest 2 goals in PWHL history, by the way. Venisheva and Nurse in the second period. How many actual chances did they get? Watts had a breakaway that she probably would have liked a little bit more runway for. Turnbull had that good chance on the power play. Zanin had a decent shot in the third that went off the post. Anything else? Did I miss one? There was nothing. There was nothing. It was lifeless. This was a surrender from minute 1. I don't even know why they showed up. They could have just called the Golden Eyes and said, you guys can take this one. We want to take a nap, actually. Travel is hard. We haven't been out to the West Coast yet this year. We're just gonna kick it in our hotel, actually, I think. Like, they could have! It would have been better than watching that. They were ghosts. Like, what is it? Is it because you still, know and get along with some of the people on the other team? You're still friends with some of the Golden Eyes on the bench over there? What is it? There were no positives. Usually, at least in most games where they lose, you could pick out, oh, well, this was okay, that was okay, the other thing wasn't that bad to look at. Nothing. This game was bad from start to finish, and by a lot. They didn't deserve to win. They didn't deserve a goal. They came out to the West Coast saying we need to get 6 points. At bare minimum, get 2. They didn't even fight for it this time. Like, what they put in what they thought was their best offensive performance against Seattle last game and said, well, if that doesn't work, I guess we're cooked. Help out your freaking goalie. Where was the defense? The one goal was a 3-on-1 and Shelburne was doing anything she could, but it's not enough. It's not enough if you're letting those chances in. How many times can you shift blame? Oh, this player didn't do enough, this player didn't do enough. No one did anything except for those couple of players that I mentioned. Turnbull, Watts, Zanin, Shelburne, Spooner, kinda. Like, I know you got eviscerated in the offseason. The expansion draft took how many of your players? You traded your starting goalie, which has been probably a good decision. Shelton, I have not been impressed by. I gotta be honest. I know she was the big trade this past year. She bobbles the puck so much. So much. She couldn't receive a pass today. She gave up the puck. That led to a goal on Nurse's first one. They took it lying down. They didn't care. They didn't try. I don't know what was or wasn't said, because I thought Turnbull was going to go in and tear the paint off the wall in the second intermission, and they were going to come out swinging. Nope. Nah. Was the third their best period? Yeah, very low bar to clear. Best of 3 terrible periods is still terrible. It's just the least terrible. You can't even hide behind any excuses. Oh, we took a lot of bad penalties, da-da-da-da-da. It took 1 penalty, and you killed it off. And it actually looked pretty good, because Watts kept making them rag it in their own zone for the second half of it. They took 2. You had more power play opportunities than the team that blanked you 5 zilch. And they did nothing. I don't even think they got a shot on their first power play. The whole thing was laughable. Get a pulse. Get blood in your veins. I wish Troy Ryan would be able to do the thing from Miracle on Ice where he just makes some skate lines after the game. Give him an hour. Give him 2. Make them spend 60 minutes on the ice where it looks like they give a damn. We're halfway through the season. They're well out of a playoff spot. They're not making up any ground. The teams that have leapfrogged them are getting further and further away. Your dream is fading quickly. And yeah, if it's gonna be a step back year or whatever, because you lost so much in the offseason, because so much got taken in free agency in the expansion draft, sure, whatever. Clearly wasn't the plan. Clearly wasn't the plan. This wasn't, they were pushing. From game 1, they were pushing. And they have looked the worst they've ever looked. And this game is just a culmination of it all. Maybe it's because of, 3 games in 5 days or whatever it is? 3 games in 6 days? Maybe it's, West Coast travel, it's tiring, it's exhausting. Like, Was CJ that important to your locker room? To your culture of the team? That not having CJ just killed everyone's will to play the sport they're paid to play? Like, what happened? What did anyone do? I would love to say burn the tape for this game. I would love to say forget about it, it's a wash, it's a write-off, scheduled loss, whatever you want to call it. No, you can't. Every single second of this game is a lesson you need to learn from. Fast, former defender of the year, not noticeable at all. Monroe, your assistant captain, coming back from injury, had a bit of fire last game, not noticeable at all. You know, these big names that you're supposed to have. You know, Malte is one of the faces of your franchise. Where was she? Flanagan, Shelton, Harmon, who had been pretty good the past couple of games. Where are these people? They weren't in the building tonight. I didn't see them anyway. This was laughable. This was a clown show. This was, they could have just run out of their dressing room waving the white flag of surrender. Saying, no, we're not in it tonight. You guys can have it. No positives. No positives. I hope they get pissed the hell off. I hope they get angry. I hope they get mad. I hope they go into Montreal in a couple of days and just run over everything. Because that's the thing. Normally when Toronto starts to lose, they get really physical and they get really feisty and they start throwing hits all over the place. They didn't even do that. There were a couple. No more than normal. They didn't even care enough to be pissed off. They didn't even care enough to be mad that they're losing. They completely resigned. Completely resigned. The team dissolved. It is shameful. The team should be ashamed. Every single person wearing that logo should be ashamed. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want more. Laugh at them. They deserve it.